You are now experiencing EternalDisco.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to the Eternal Disco.
The last video I put out, which was, I think was the last video we filmed, I had just shaved. If that gives you a significance of how long it's been since we recorded.
I'm about to say this is probably the first time seeing this haircut and mustache
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're still the same people, unfortunately.
For better or for worse. We're gonna do the impossible, Dylan. We're gonna do things in a timely fashion.
Oh no! Please, I can't handle it.
All right, let's do it. It's everyone's favorite bit. Future Gabe, did we do it?
Extremely loud and
Extremely
correct
loud
buzzer
and
noise.
correct buzzer, yeah. But yeah, let's review the new Kublai Khan album.
Let's do it.
Sorry, Kublai Khan TX.
TX.
For the TikTok kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day, there wasn't a TX at the end of it. It was just Kublai Khan.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then they got
Damn
sued
liberals.
by a power metal band that was from Canada or something. There's a reason that there's a TX in the name now.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming because there's also a couple of bands I've
Named
seen, like
Kublai
UK or
Yeah, exactly.
another band with a TX at the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, oh well. Kublai Khan does it best. This one does. We're here with the real Kublai Khan. My Kublai Khan. Even though I've really just adopted
Even though
it.
you've been in the past a notorious
Censor this.
Kublai
I will
Khan
not stand for this
hater.
correct assessment. Okay, look, Kublai Khan was dumb doo-doo head metal.
Okay, I actually
Back when I was my sugar carnival. You know, I was a big prog slash just a gent. Like gent is such a bad word nowadays, but good gent.
use Thal. That's what everyone else uses.
Yes, like old Thal
There you go.
gent.
Gent.
But yeah, so I was a big Kublai Khan like not enjoyer, and then
Not
you showed me
enjoyer.
Theory of Mind,
And you
and I still wasn't.
still
an
didn't like it
enjoyer.
at first.
And then I found it
And-
again,
and then
I
it just
listened to
just clicked one day.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. I'm now, you know, it's the knocked loosification of my life,
It's true. I think
where you give me
that-
loud heavy metal, and I just bang my head just like this, just like Matt Honeycutt
Yep.
wants me to do. Just
Spoilers.
bang your sorry.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
So yeah. Exhibition of Prowess is the name.
Yes.
Album
Here's
art.
the album art.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm such a recent Kublai Khan converter. I did buy the vinyl before I even.
He did.
Like
he did.
this is the first full record of Kublai Khan I've ever listened to.
Yeah.
But I've bought the vinyl because
Now
I
you
like
need-
the singles.
Well, now you get to go back and listen to the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's all pretty good.
Good. I'm a recency bias type of gamer.
I mean, I think for me, what I know about you, I think that you would like this one more than any of the other ones, just because this is, I don't know, their thing is like, their thing for years has been like, how can we cut the fat even more? They were already a bare bones band. Like, I mean, they're literally a 4-piece: one guitar, one drum, bass, vocalist. That's it.
Yeah.
About as low frill as you can get in this style of music. I mean, they could go, but then that would. But the thing is their low frill simplicity. Because like, yeah, you could shave 2 members off and just be a 2-piece, but then that would require somebody to be doing a lot of shit, and that
Yeah.
defeats the whole ethos of the band here.
The 68ification
Exactly.
of,
Kublai
of,
Khan.
of beat down.
Exactly, right? But it's like they've literally just been like, how can we get simpler
Yeah.
and simpler and simpler and simpler?
I mean, I feel that because I have heard, like, going, listening to Kublai Khan, it would put an older track on there. I was like, wow, this is what they used to do? Like,
Yeah.
you know, more
Faster.
up-tempo, yeah, like, more
Yeah.
high energy. But yeah, this record, like,
Now they're just
it is just as,
mid-tempo,
yeah,
fattest fucking tone you've ever heard.
just this the
There's
whole
literally
way.
not enough drywall in this house to run through.
Yeah,
Like the Kool-Aid Man's favorite band.
yeah, exactly. And, yeah, so when the singles came out, big hater turned big lover. And I will say, like, I don't know how we want to actually tackle it, but, it's
It's 23 minutes.
23 minutes.
Yeah. Check the runtime of this video below.
Yeah,
This
we beat
video,
them, boys.
It's gonna be longer than the album is.
It's a competition and we're winning.
We did it with the Nog Loose video. You're damn right. We're gonna do it with the Kublai Khan video.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so it's 23 minutes, like you said, total like, cutting fat.
Yeah.
Like there's a 50-second song or 40-something second.
I mean,
song.
the first the single that announced the record, Supreme Ruler,
Yeah,
is the intro of the album and is like what?
a minute and change.
No, it's not even a minute. It's like 58 seconds.
Yeah, it's just ever so slightly too far out of my sight range.
Yeah,
where I
it's
can't
it's
actually
like
read it.
it's like 50 something seconds
Yeah.
or something.
And then there's a straight edge song apparently called X that's like 45 or something. So they have
Yeah.
multiple sub-minute tracks,
Yeah,
which I'm cool with.
I'm cool.
Oh,
with
and the last song was sub-minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing about, like, when you do this kind of music, do you need to make a long song? No.
No.
You get in, you get out, you're done.
So-
you play the shit everyone wants to hear you do.
Yeah. Right. And if you're one of the 20 people that have watched this video and also seen the Knocked Loose review,
Yeah.
my issue with the Knocked Loose record was it didn't feel like there was quite enough Knocked Loose. I could have gone for a couple more songs. This one, get me out. You know what I mean? 23 minutes. I mean, no shade against Kublai Khan, but that's about all I can handle. You know, that's as much of a headbang I can do is about 23 minutes
Yeah.
in a row.
Yeah. No, this is like PR setting music, you know?
Yeah. You just put on this record and fucking get your fucking pump and get out.
Get your deadlifts in,
Yeah.
go home.
It's really just like, yeah, like it's like almost a formula or like an equation. Like
Yeah.
how do we retain 98% efficiency of heavy while shaving off as much as we can?
I mean, and it's working for them, obviously.
Yeah.
The big single on this record came out last year. It's called Theory of Mind. I'm sure anyone watching this knows Theory of Mind.
Yep.
Even people that like don't know Kublai Khan at this point know Theory of Mind because it became like a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
And then that's done numbers for them. So like, for context, I have seen this band live 15 times.
Yeah.
Do your research, Gabe. I saw them back in 2014 for the first time.
Yeah.
When their first album had just come out,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it was right before their second album came out. And yeah, no, I think about this all the time. If I can find a picture, I'll put it here. But the difference between Matt Honeycutt in 10 years ago versus today,
Yeah.
night and day. He
Right.
was wearing like Jordans
Yeah.
and like had like a flat bill hat on and like short hair and like
Yeah.
different vibe. And then all of a sudden we see the yee-ification of the man as he goes on, which is great. I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
But you know,
Hey. Yeah, but so you've had a history with them, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like,
but I did, to your point though, I did see them. I saw them 3 days in a row in Texas, where they're from. And this was back when the rooms that they were playing as the support for the band that I was actually seeing, they were playing like, these were like 150, 200 cap rooms every night.
yeah.
But I'll tell you that I knew this was something special back then because people were going fucking ballistic.
Hell yeah.
Like some of the scariest pits, like the stage dives, the amount of times I got kicked in the head in Dallas, Texas is crazy.
Yeah.
And that was, right before their album Nomad came out.
Yeah.
Nomad is kind of the album that started really, really blowing them up.
Yeah.
Someone with like the first Ant Pile and the Hammer, like a lot of their bigger hits came from Nomad.
Yeah.
So this is the tour when that wasn't even out yet, but they were playing songs off of it, and people were like losing their shit to it. I remember every night them closing with Ant Pile,
Yeah.
and everyone being like, "Yo!" And then the record came out, and everyone realized that's the intro to the album, and it was cool.
Hell yeah. So yeah, varied history, but I think we can both say this album fucking rips.
Oh, it rules. Yeah, no. So
There's multiple times we just listened to it, and there's multiple times where I'm just like flexing.
oh yeah,
like,
it's
over
fucking.
here,
It's literally just doing this
Yeah.
for 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, because I was like, it like Theory of Mine, like the single, it's like it's a riff you could fucking like flex while you're playing guitar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Oh,
like it's perfect, dude. It's like that's exactly the style of music that
that song
they're cultivating.
Yeah, that song rocks,
Yeah.
and it's
Probably the best song on the album. We can get into a little bit more.
I
but
would
like,
need more listens
that is true
to
because
say. I will say it is
I have listened to these 3 singles
a lot.
probably every day. At least I'll put on some version of the 3 singles.
Yeah.
So
I will say that of the 3, well, I really honestly can't even count Supreme Ruler. I mean, I do because it kicks ass.
yeah,
If it was like
King,
if
baby.
it was a full like song like the same length as Theory of Mine, Supreme Ruler would be the best for sure.
yeah,
But it's literally just a fucking here's what we're about to do to you.
yeah, exactly.
So it's cool.
Yeah,
But I do like it a lot more than the other single which came out earlier this year, Low Tech. Which is a good song.
when Low Tech came out, I remember really fucking with it. But then like after I would listen to like Theory of Mine and then even Supreme Ruler, because in the singles it was Supreme Ruler, Low Tech, Theory of Mine.
Yeah.
And I would always get to the end of Low Tech and be like, oh wait, that's right, nothing really happens.
Yeah.
So I will say like it's on the weaker end. Still a great song, but it's like on the weaker end of the album for me so far.
My small issue with it is like it is cool and it has a cool like vibe to it and it has a cool beat to it.
Yeah.
But it literally does the exact same thing the entire song.
Yeah.
It's just like
exactly.
dun 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 for 2 and almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's the singles, but we can kind of talk about it,
Yeah, we'll go
bit
through it.
more chronologically.
Yeah. Do a little bit of a track by track here.
Yeah, so Supreme Ruler, like we said. Great intro.
Great intro.
The little intro by Matt talking. The way he says it, it's like, damn, is this from like a book or something? Like,
yeah.
But I don't think it's
No, yeah, Supreme Ruler is
great tone setter.
tight.
Khan is
Fucking
king.
crazy. It's going to be ballistic live.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so tough.
The next song, Darwinism.
Darwinism. I will say like I can't rank favorites because I've listened to this one time.
Yeah, we just did
now.
it one active active listening.
One little active listening session. Active.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna say. But that being said, I do have like you said, like recency bias. Sometimes like the first song I hear that's new from something, I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I have a tendency to love album openers because I'm like, oh, normally people don't release their album opener as a single.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that being said, Darwinism fucks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, Darwinism, like there really
the
isn't
song is crazy good.
really not much in terms of misses, but even then, like as a baseline, Darwinism, like just because you have an album opener sets the tone, and then Darwinism picks right back up.
And Darwinism almost could have been the album opener as its own because it really sets the tone.
Yeah,
It also does something really interesting with Matt's lyrics, which I'm not gonna say he's like the most lyrical person in the world, but this song is super funny because I mean it's literally him doing like his stage antics, but for real lyrics.
Yeah.
He's famously a fucking ad lib kind of guy live, like be like shake that ass, baby girl, like shit like that.
yeah,
The opening of the song is motherfucker bang your fucking head,
Yeah.
bitch. I'm like, all right, man,
yeah,
I got you.
yeah, exactly.
But you know what? You're gonna bang your head because
Oh, yeah.
that's what the song does, dude.
Yeah, it's it's fucking heavy as shit right out the fucking gate.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
No issues from me on that one. Like, yeah, that one is exactly like you said. Like, you listen to that one, like, okay, this is gonna be a good record.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big
Yeah,
time.
this is gonna hit the spot.
Next song is Cannibal featuring Dave Peters. Dave Peters, I know you don't know, and you probably still won't have any context after I tell you, but he was the vocalist for Throwdown at one point.
Sure.
He used to be in 18 Visions, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
It's a good guest spot, though.
Yeah.
I did like the guest spot. I like both guest spots on this record, actually.
Yeah.
Hard song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just it's tough as nails, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it's Kublai Khan, you know. You can't, you know, for better or for worse, you really can't dive too terribly deep.
You know, it brings up a point, you know, that I would say is like people talk about is like friends. We were talking about this album earlier today, and some people were like, "Yeah, you know, I'm excited for it." Some people were less excited for it because they were just like, "I feel like I'm starting to get tired of the shtick that they're doing," and I'm like, I can understand being tired of it.
Yeah.
However, my frontal lobe has not fully developed, so more for me.
Yeah.
It's knuckle dragger music, dude.
Yeah, but even then, like I would say, like even going back and listening to some of their like the previous record, like this is still different enough. Like it's going in a direction, but it's not like the same shit as what they've. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and also
it almost feels like it because it's been like a whole year since Theory of Mind came out, so you've been sitting on this sound more or less.
Exactly.
But like, yeah, like I feel like compared to older stuff, it's still like distinct. Same way like the newest Knocked Loose record sounds like everything Knocked Loose had been doing, like to a point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like put an edge on it. Like that's what I feel like. This is like literally a distillation of like where Kublai, like from like the first record I've heard, like, you know, just bits and pieces of to Nomad to this. It's a, you know,
it's definitely a like literal like a tracked evolution that you can see.
Yeah, well, because it's almost like Kublai Khan has had that like knuckle dragger music reputation, but this is like the pinnacle of that. But it's still on a different level.
This is them like embracing it.
Right,
This is them,
exactly.
This is them leaning into it.
You want us to be meatheads, we'll be a bunch of fucking meatheads.
you want it, exactly. It's you want fucking unga bunga music. We're gonna do it. I mean, we're gonna
to criticize for that. You know, everybody's valid. You know, point is valid, but I could never fault a band for leaning in.
Yeah,
you know,
it's boiling your sound down into like, you know, the purest strain of what you could get of it.
Exactly.
X, which is another one of the very short songs. I think it's something like you said, like 40 seconds or some shit. Like I don't remember the exact time code. The
pretty up tempo, I think. Like
pretty fast, up tempo, hard. I enjoyed it. The thing that caught me off guard about it is that it was so short and it did feel like kind of just abruptly ended. And also the last line before it abruptly ends, because we didn't have the lyrics in front of us, but I can pretty much decipher what Matt's saying. I did not know. Didn't know that Matt Honeycutt was straight edge.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess when I see a song titled X now, it makes sense. But the last line of the song is straight fucking edge, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I mean,
as a former professional edger myself, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a new thing though, because
the more I think about it, the more I think I remember people talking about him being edge. Before. He's been edge for a while. I just don't think they've ever had any songs about it.
Right. Which, thank God. Like, I mean,
you know what? Here's the
straight edge bands.
Here's the yes and no. Here's the thing about straight edge. People can hate me for this. It's a very corny aspect of the subculture. I don't love it a lot. But I do respect it's just like embracing sobriety, being like, look, you can still be. Yeah. I mean, you could take it however you want it. You could either be like, I could still be a cool guy and not have to drink or do drugs or whatever, and it's like, or you could be like, I'm a bad person and I don't drink or do drugs. You know what I mean? Right, I don't have no vices to blame it on.
Which, as a man who's recently like weaned himself off of all drugs, foreign and domestic.
Sure.
Even caffeine to the most part, like,
I mean, that's
but I would never call I'm not straight edge, but I also would never. It's never even crossed my mind to even like claim it.
I was edge for like actually claimed edge for quite a few years in my youth. And then I started drinking super heavily. Yeah, got relapsed immediately.
Well, I'm about to say, I feel like that's the story of most straight edge.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. You get in while you're young, and then something bad happens to you, and then you think, oh, maybe I'll just, whatever.
And then it goes off the rails from there.
Yeah. Look, I'm a poser, man. If you're not now, you never were, whatever. But like, I'm not. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I just, but I'm an adult, so I call myself sober.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
I don't need a little fucking Letterman jacket Colt to be like, oh,
Yeah.
But at the same time, the point that I'm trying to get to here is the ex-edge person in me and the current sober person in me. Sometimes with the right band, you just hear a fucking straight edge call out, and you're like, dude, X me up. I am back. We have never been more back. Like,
it's no longer Jover.
It's no longer Jover. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, do I still have those foundation shirts in my closet? When's the Have Heart show again? You know what I mean? Like, oh, no, yeah, for sure.
Crazy. I mean, great little ripper.
It's cool.
Cool call out.
I just talked about it for 14 times longer than the song is.
14 times longer than the song. Yeah, I was gonna make the same as.
Next one's Theory of Mind.
Theory of Mind. Already talked about.
We already talked about it. Monkey see, monkey do.
That one.
Fucking woohoo! Yeah.
Hit him with that.
TikTok, do the TikTok dance. Look, the song has done numbers for them. Mm-hmm. It has also maybe done some, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like people get too cool and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know. I was there. I saw him in 2014.
Yeah.
I saw him 3 times in Texas in 2017.
Yeah.
People like me.
Yeah.
But it's fucking bonkers for me to see, like, tell you, like, yeah, I've seen them play to like 50 people.
Yeah.
And then the last time I saw them, they sold out Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Like, completely packed it out. Their headline tour was selling out like 2,000 cap rooms because people were coming to see them because, hey, it's that band from TikTok.
Yeah.
So
the TikTokification of metal music is truly the worst thing that has ever happened to me personally.
At least occasionally, it's like,
I'm sorry.
It sucks that, like, there are some pretty cool bands that are becoming figureheads of it. But think about this: if you didn't have your Kublai Khans and your Knocked Looses having their moments, most people would think all metal was Sleep Token.
Yeah, true. But also, I couldn't afford to go to a Knocked Loose concert.
It's true.
Knocked Loose, I couldn't afford to go see them.
Yeah, I couldn't afford to go see them.
I won't be able to afford to probably go see them again because I think they're coming through soon.
They are. They're playing the fucking Roxy, so I'm sure it's going to be
There's
crazy.
no way I'm going to afford a Lorna Shore ticket.
No.
With Lorna Shore and
it sold
Kublai
out.
Khan?
Sold out immediately.
And oh yeah, and obviously, like, I'm one of those. I was listening since Nazareth. Sleep Token guys, and I can't ever see Sleep Token.
I'll not until they take the masks off and y'all hate them because he's a weird looking guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so that's the issue I have with the TikTokification of metal music because I used to be able to pay $20 and see 5 of the bands I love in heaven.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was great.
And now I have to pay $120 to go to the goddamn Roxy because people like Lorna Shore for some reason.
Because Live Nation is sitting here rubbing their hands together like a fly.
Yeah. We got a little off topic.
Anyway,
Theory of Mind.
Mind.
That's going to go crazy live. That's really what we're trying to say.
I can confirm. Does go crazy live.
And I won't be able to see it probably. But we'll try. What's after that? Mud? Is that what it's called?
Mud
was a good follow-up to Theory of Mind.
Tough as nails, dude.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like, maybe because I know Theory of Mind so well, but the end of Theory of Mind, start of Mud, is the halfway point. Mm-hmm. Like the back half.
Yeah.
And it does, like, almost transition. Like, it's almost like a different side of them.
Yeah.
A little bit more, like...
serious.
Like that type of shit. Not just, like, fucking quarter note chugs.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit, like...
Yeah.
They're putting a little bit more fucking ass into it.
Mud is one of the angriest songs on the record, it feels like. Back half of the record seems like it has slightly more, well, with the exception of, like, one thing that we'll get to later, slightly more serious lyrics, I feel like.
Sure.
Mud has this whole passage where he talks about, like, it sounds like he's talking about, like, a fucking... guerrilla warfare tactics. He's like bamboo spikes buried under leaves and shit. Like, yeah, I caught that and I was like, damn, all right, hell yeah.
I'm famously, and I say famously to me,
Not a
I'm the
lyric guy.
Yeah, I'm not even not a lyric guy. I'm like lyric blind.
Yeah.
I have to read the lyrics. As soon as I read the lyrics, maybe it's because I'm like slightly acoustic, but
Slightly. Right.
but I can't hear lyrics
Fair.
unless they're spoken word lyrics. Like
Sure.
But as soon as I read them, they're clear as day.
Yeah.
I just have to read through a song one time.
Yeah.
Memorize the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and honestly, same. Like, there's only bits and pieces that I'll catch.
Yeah.
I can't. Even when I'm sitting there and like try hard, sometimes I just can't really.
Yeah. Maybe we're both slightly acoustic.
I mean,
I'm joking.
everyone jokes that I'm the one, one neurotypical friend that's collecting different flavors of the spectrum like Infinity Stones,
Yeah.
but like, maybe that's not true. I am the guy that sits there eating a ham sandwich with the Wikipedia page for ham pulled up on the screen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Also famously overstimulated by more than one person talking. And one screen active, and then you're done.
I'm cooked. My brain like short circuits, dude.
Yeah. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Exactly.
But lyrics fly right over me. I don't really care. But I mean, Matt, he almost like his delivery. He almost sounds like he's doing it wrong. Like it does not sound like how a human should be able to sound.
No,
which I have noticed. Like it seems like he on this record he added like there's like a good bit of distortion to his vocal.
They did.
So it's a little bit harder.
You can tell off of Theory Mine and
Yeah.
if you go back listen to older stuff.
Yeah.
They're adding some post processing to his
a
voice
lot,
for
yeah.
sure.
Mud.
Thumbs
up
up.
there.
Up
Top
there for
3
me.
probably. Top 2 if we're talking about like full length tracks. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Top 3. We'll say top 3. Next is
972, right?
972, and we can kind of segue this into low tech a little bit too. So I think did we already say that low tech was kind of like the low point on the singles?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, 972 is that like a Texas area code?
I don't know.
Probably.
I will look it up and I will put it here.
Dylan's always right. He's a smart man.
You might be a smart man. I mean, honestly, I was sitting here thinking, look at 972. I mean, it's probably an area code.
I'm thinking it might be a Texas area code. Cool. Like cool. That's awesome.
It's got some like actual like honest to God like riffs on it.
Yeah, it's got riffs, and that's kind of where he lost me.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
And it's not like I don't ever want to hear Kublai Khan riff, but like
that's the thing is. The thing about them like distilling their sound down like this is we have, as a culture, we have lost some cool shit because Kublai Khan used to have some riffs every now and then. Some of their coolest, dude. One of their fucking like to me to this day, one of like the hardest things that they've ever done is fucking the beginning of Boom Slang. And that is riffs, baby.
Yeah,
that ain't just chugs. That's a riff,
right?
I'll
take your word for it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hard shit.
I'll have to listen to it. But
it's called Boom Slang, Dylan.
I mean, that's cool. they've got great names. They know how to name
They know how to name songs.
But yeah, so 972, it's got riffs, but similar to Low Tech. Like the first half of the song, it's like two and some change.
Yeah.
First half of the song, more or less, is that riff.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like the riff the first time around. I definitely didn't like it the 16th time around.
Sure.
But that's
I thought the end of the song when it does change up though was sick. But also there is I believe that one has a like 4 on the floor part. I was gonna say you're not crazy.
I'm not crazy about like the 4 on the floor. Like I don't mind the 4 on the floor if the snare's on the 3. But if you're like do God, like snare on the 2 and 4,
sure,
type beat,
yeah,
count me out. So it's 2 things I really don't like, which is that like like the high riffing, like open string to high riff doesn't really do it for me. And then the 4 on the floor beat at the end of it.
It's fair enough. We are on the opposite ends of this because I think
Yeah,
972 was one of my favorites.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like literally, I knew when I brought it up, I was like, oh, Gabe's gonna love this track.
I did. He literally, as soon as we got done, we were looking at it before we hit record. He was like, "Yeah, I don't think I really like that one." I was like, "Can you play it again real quick?" As soon as he turned it on, I was like, "Oh, no, that was the one I liked a lot."
Yeah. So it's crazy, you know. We're on totally opposite of the spectrums. Like I said, not that I
more
don't want
ways than one.
Yes, yes, it's very true. But not like I said, not that I don't ever want to hear Kublai Khan riff. I would definitely listen into some Meshuggah style Kublai Khan shits. But I don't know, just that riff in particular, I guess didn't quite catch me.
Fair enough.
And then it segues out with a 4 on the floor, beat into
Low
tech, which is a low point on the record for me as well. So, unfortunately, the two songs I like the least
are right there together.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still listen to Low Tech. Like when I would listen to the singles, I would still listen to it. But
I think as you go through this record, like as you listen more in the future, you'll probably appreciate them more. You'll probably still listen to them. But I get it. They're definitely
on a first listen, it's definitely like, But, we've already talked a little bit about Low Tech,
Only thing I've really got to say about it is there's a line, like the very last line of the song, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about like listening comprehension skills beating our ass. The first time I heard it, at the very end of the song, he says like, "For this low tech." I don't know why, because I don't even know what it would mean.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was saying 4/5 low tech, and I was like, what does 4/5 mean? Is there some sort of like weird, I was like, what does that mean? Is there some sort of like symbolism there? I don't know. It's kind of hard though. 4/5 low tech? Like, I don't know what that means, man. And then I looked at the lyrics and I was like, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
right?
man, I'm stupid.
I will say, the whole thing about Low Tech, I was listening to the lyrics, earlier this week when I had put the singles on, and I was like, what is he trying to say? I don't know what he means when he's like...
Oh, I mean, it's basically just like fucking...
Is he saying...
reject modernity,
right.
Embrace tradition.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know.
I will say, any, qualms I have about the song or, any, complaints I have... There are certain moments of the song where it goes out the... Pretty much every time they say the words low tech in the song, I'm like, yeah.
What is the name of the
link to your title? It's called A Hopeless Fate.
Hopeless Fate with...
Jamie Jasta from Hatebreed.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the most I have enjoyed Jamie Jasta's voice in a while.
Fair enough.
I am notoriously not a very big Hatebreed enjoyer.
Never heard of Hatebreed.
Dylan would not like Hatebreed. I would go on record and say that Dylan would not like Hatebreed.
Good. I won't have to listen to it. We don't have to do any research for this video.
No.
But yeah, so I mean, maybe at this point I was maybe a little bit on my phone. Just a little bit. But it was good.
It's good.
I heard Jamie Jasta's voice is very distinct. Obviously
I like
nobody
it.
sounds like Matt.
I like it a lot. It's all up there for one of my favorites on the record for sure.
It's definitely gonna have to be a re-listen for me.
Though I will say,
a couple times
before we were listening to this, or as when we were listening to Theory of Mine, we're listening to Theory of Mine. We get to the end with the breakdown. Dylan's over there doing this number. And we're just kind of making fun of how simple it is. Where it's just like, jun, 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 jun. And I was like, the only thing they could do to make it more simple is they're just gonna have a single note, just repeated one note, no pattern, just dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And they fucking did it on this song.
And so, one thing about that, because it's Low Tech, right? Or Theory of Mind, where there's like bump bump bunk where they do like that syncopated, really off kilter sort of thing. They kind of bring it back with that because they do that one note.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a quarter note.
Yeah.
And then the drums kick in and it's like a dotted quarter note.
Yeah.
So It's almost they do a little bit. They do just enough to where like it tickles my brain.
Oh yeah,
like
no, they're
counting drummer brain.
They are
like,
clever because they
yeah.
know that they couldn't do just like the most simple thing and
Yeah.
have it work. You've got to give it a little.
Right.
Just a
But that's
little
the thing
flair.
is like because I'm sure everybody's like, why don't they just play quarter notes? And they like, okay, jun, 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 and then the drums kick in and it's not quite quarter notes,
Yeah.
but it's fucking cool. Like just little things like that. Like
It's cool.
you know, it's cool shit. Yeah.
That's the last full song of the record. So, last song on the record, Ant Pile 2.
The much awaited.
The much anticipated
when
sequel to the greatest song ever written.
you know, and I'm not going to say it's the reason why I bought the record,
Yeah.
but when they released
Supreme Ruler.
Supreme Ruler and then they released the track list and I saw Ant Pile 2, I was like,
It's gonna be. Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know what
when,
I mean?
when
Like-
I saw Ant Pile 2 on the track list, I was like, oh, we're back.
because some bands would like lean out of that,
Yeah.
but they're
Like you're not gonna
10 toes down.
You're not gonna see Knock Loose do Counting Worms too. They're not doing
right.
it.
Yeah,
They people want them to so bad. They're not doing it.
they're not doing it. Yeah, most bands would not release their number one Spotify song since that came out pretty much.
The song
like,
that is essentially like, okay, here's the thing. It's so fucking hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard. I love it so much because it tickles my brain because I, above all else, love some pinch harmonics.
loves these pinches.
I love pinches. You put that shit in anything, and
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah,
And that's all that song is.
yeah, it's sick for it. But
But it is kind of a meme because it's like, the lyrics are shit. Son of a bitch.
yeah,
And that's it. Everyone likes to make fun of the lyrics to Ant Pile.
mm-hmm.
But the lyrics to Ant Pile 2, even better.
even better.
Hey, put up the lyrics to Ant Pile 2 on screen for me.
Genius, verified.
Brilliant. 2.
2. It's sick. I mean, like I said, like most bands wouldn't even like float that idea, and they like leaned into
That's
it.
awesome, dude.
Where
I guarantee you, like I said, they're going to start closing with Ant Pile, and then they're going to hit that drum fill, and it's going to turn into Ant Pile 2, and people are going to literally tear limbs off of each other.
yeah, just like bring the house down, literally, like run through walls.
Yeah. Structural damage.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, like with the like we could talk about the mix a little bit. I think the mix was like super thick, but it relied a little bit too much on 808 drops for my liking, which is just maybe a me thing. It might not be like a Kublai Khan fan club thing.
It's for me, man.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's for me.
But,
They were.
yeah.
It was making me laugh, dog. Every time it happened, I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
your poor speakers over there, dude."
Yeah, they were really fucking like I was watching the cones move. Yeah, they were having a rough time.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean,
But yeah, I mean overall, I think it's a good sounding mix. Like
the mix is cool. It does this thing. I could kind of pick it up through your monitors. It's really. I want you to listen to it with headphones on and let me know what you think. There's something kind of weird going on with the mix, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's like something to do with either the guitar or the bass mix, where it's like feels like it's peaking on purpose or something.
yeah,
Like where the levels just aren't quite right, but it feels intentional.
yeah.
And I just want to know if you think that it is or not.
Well, as far as the bass, actually, like the bass frequency, like the guitar, and like even like when there's just the guitar playing, like there's a lot of low end coming through the speakers, so like they really didn't like, shape their tone much, like post EQ wise.
But I think that's part of the point.
Right, but like the bass guitar sits like almost under the kick drum. Who cares, right? But like the bass is here, the kick drum doesn't have a lot of low end to it. It's more just like punch, and then the guitars are right above that. So it is a really weird mix where the bass is kind of quiet, but it's just constant, like this huge bottom end.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like not overwhelms, but like sits under everything.
Yeah.
It is a weird mix, I'd say. Like it's a different mix
It's
than
different.
a modern metal. I love Will Putney's music, like his production style, but it's no Will Putney.
No.
And
And this was done by Randy LaBeouf. I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Butchering it. who is a like protege of Will Putney, like
Okay.
works in the same studio.
Yeah, so like I said, to me, it's a classic way to mix almost. Where like I said, the bass it's almost all sub bass
Yeah.
that you hear. There's a lot of bass in the guitar. So yeah, there is weird. I'd say yeah, I agree with you. There's like weird bass stuff going on. I'm sure nobody finds that shit interesting,
I think if people
but
notice it, they'll hear what I'm talking about, and then
Yeah.
they'll go, "Oh, okay." But
yeah.
it
I
works.
mean, the low end is super present because it's the
of it.
bass, the low end of the guitars, and the kick are all right fucking there.
It's like a
Yeah.
thick wall of low end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. I was listening to it, but
Yeah.
overall though, like quality wise, it sounds raw, but it still doesn't sound bad because I like bad raw sometimes. But you know,
No,
this is not
it's
that.
like it's supposed to give you the illusion of raw, but in fact, there's actually a lot of polish there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like overall, the mix sounds great. All in all, I don't know, what would you rate it? Let me hear your thoughts. Like if you had to give this a rating,
For what it is,
how many Michelin stars would you give?
I think you can only give it one at a time, right?
Well,
Isn't
there you
that how
have it,
those
boys.
work?
It's a 1-star album.
1 star.
No,
No, I don't know, man. I think overall for like what it is, it's like for like ass beater kind of shit,
yeah,
about as good as it gets.
yeah,
That being said, as like a record, if I'm like just putting on a scale of like other things that I like this year, I'd probably give it like a 8,
okay.
like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever I'm picking up heavy shit at work,
Oh, it's gonna look. Here's the thing. I'm saying 8 out of 10. By the time we get to the end of the year, and I'm like thinking about it, it's gonna be in my like top 20 or so for
Yeah.
sure.
oh yeah, okay.
Like 100%.
I'd say yeah, I'd probably give it like a 7.5, solid.
Yeah.
With definitely a chance for it to go up
Yeah.
on a subsequent listen.
It's not doing like the thing is like it does one thing, it does it super well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really here for depth. It's
Yeah.
not really here to give you a story. It's
Yeah.
not here for any of that.
Right.
It's here to just put your face into fucking glass and drag it. Like that's
yeah.
what it's here for.
Yeah. And for that, like I said, like, you know, God forbid my ass ever has to get back in the gym, but you best believe half of this record at least is gonna make it on the.
It is pick heavy shit up, put heavy shit down.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, overall, like I'd say, you know, I don't listen to a lot of new music, except for when you make me listen to
I
new music.
make
This
you-
is the one that I've been like, look, like this
Looking
and Knocked
forward to
Loose, like
for the
yeah,
two.
this year definitely been like top of the list.
Which is why
So-
coincidentally they will be the two, album reviews that we have. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, Dylan, let's do it. Let's talk about
Yeah,
it. You know?
like finally getting my ass into new metal music. You know,
Well, slowly but surely. I have to figure out something to get you excited for the rest of the year and going into next year, but we'll get there.
next video is gonna be me making Gabe listen to absolute fucking dog shit music that I like.
I'll listen to anything, man.
But yeah, I mean, what more can you say in 50 minutes? Hold on, where is it?
I'll edit
look
it.
here.
I'm gonna edit this down to like, I don't know. I'm not gonna give a number.
Don't give a
I
number
can't give a number.
because there would be you would be throwing a lot.
Fucking big old X right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Anyway,
Yeah,
I think that's really about it.
Yeah, that's all we got to say.
Keep it short, ish.
But yeah,
All right.
till next time.
Till next time.